Hello, beautiful people. My morning starts with me drinking tea, and yes, I put milk in tea. I've never learned how to drink coffee, so I really love my tea. I'm gonna start by cleaning around the house and then work later. Enjoy the video.
A few moments later.
Hi, beautiful people. Today is my comfortable day. I'm actually just putting on a t-shirt and some comfy pants. Yeah, and I have my glasses on today. But I thought I'd come here and give a little bit of an intro for what you're gonna see. Today you're gonna be with me in the process of excuse me. But today you're gonna be with me in the process of my design work. You're gonna see a little bit of how I prepare for something I'm gonna do. A little bit of a background. I'm a 3D artist, 3D visualizer. I just graduated actually like a few months ago. Yes, I work with 3D, and I wrote down a few things because I know I'm gonna end up like talking and like not making sense out of anything. But basically, as a 3D artist, ooh, excuse me. Basically, as a 3D artist, I create like computer generated images. It's supposed to kind of look like it's pictures, but it's not really pictures, right? And the simplest explanation I usually tell people when like people just randomly ask me, oh, what is 3D visualizing, what do you mean, is I could show you what your product or house or design is gonna look like before you even start building it, before you even start making it from scratch. So that's what computer generated images can do. And basically, a person like me works for, most people mistaken me for an interior designer. I'm not an interior designer. I can do some interior design, but that's not what I studied. My focus was more on interior design and 3D. You could choose, at the school I went to, you could choose both you could choose architecture or interior design. I'm more interested in interior design. I'm really not good at buildings. Like give me any place and I can tell you like how to place things inside to make it look aesthetically pleasing, to make it look good. But just give me plain ground and tell me to like build up something, child, I do not know. Like it's probably not me. I could maybe get better at it. I could still do architecture 3D visuals, but I prefer interior design. Yeah, so that's what a person like me does. And I use programs like 3ds Max. That is a program I use to build up everything. And then V-Ray for rendering. There's also Corona rendering. I used that in my first year. I think V-Ray is better. I like how it works. There's probably better renders, but I prefer the V-Ray. That's what I'm using for now. And then you gotta pay for some others, and I'm good with what I have right now. Not that V-Ray is free, but like it gets a bit more expensive. So I'm good with what I have right now. And then I use Photoshop. So some work, when you're done, you gotta put in a little bit of Photoshop to make it, to show exactly what you want. But I'm the type of person who'd rather do everything in 3D before, so that I don't need to do anything after. So I don't need to do a lot of Photoshop after. Probably adjust lighting, change a few things here and there, but I don't want to do so much in Photoshop, mainly because I am not so good at Photoshop. I use Photoshop more for graphics and other programs, but when it comes to 3D and making things look super duper realistic, we're still working on that. And then something else that I do a lot of graphics too. We kind of touched on that subject a little bit at school, but I do a little bit of graphic design, and I use Illustrator. I use InDesign for that. If you guys want more information on like what this is exactly, tell me. But tell me and I can make a whole different video out of it. But that's what I do. And then I do also a little bit of CAD work. I recently helped a friend's dad with a building. There's some building they're gonna build, so I recently helped draw out the whole building and the measurements and everything. That is CAD. Yeah, so what we're gonna do this time is prepare for 3D work, my favorite. And I built a restaurant some months back when I was in school. It was a project that we did. It was called La Cuisine. It was really cute. It stressed the hell out of me because a restaurant needs a lot. Like, for my people who know 3D, you know, like the more things you have in the scene, the heavier it's gonna be, the longer it's gonna take to render. And you literally gotta be careful with every single thing and save every single thing, because you could lose everything in like 1 second. Yeah, but it looked really good, and it kind of like got me interested in doing a restaurant again. But this time I just want a view, an outside view of a restaurant. I really don't do a lot of outdoors, so I wanted to challenge myself to do an outdoor this time. And I'm gonna insert, you're gonna see a little bit of how I plan and how I think. I'm gonna insert some of my work somewhere here, so you can see what I meant by like my 3D work. They do be looking like pictures, okay? Like everything the media shows you is all a lie. Yeah, so oh my god, why was my voice shaking right there? So yeah, you're gonna see a little bit of like how I'm gonna plan this restaurant. I'm not good at drawing, okay? So nobody judge my drawings, because I used to be good at it and then I stopped. So don't ask me what happened. This is why I have a pencil, because I've been drawing. And yeah, so anyways, keep watching. As you can see, I start with a Pinterest inspiration research, and this can take up to a few days depending on exactly what you want to do. I had already found a few pictures of exactly what I wanted and the specifics that I wanted to have in the restaurant. This Pinterest search helps me find specific pictures that I can use in my mood board later, which is gonna keep me grounded on exactly what I'm gonna do. Otherwise, it is easy to kind of get lost and do totally different things. This picture right here was the main one, the main inspiration. So I'm gonna make something close to that, but not the exactly same thing, because that was just an inspiration. I start by going on Photoshop, which is where I put my pictures together. You could also use InDesign or Illustrator if you feel like it, but I find it easier to kind of put pictures together here and change colors depending on what kind of mood board I want to have. A mood board can actually be anything depending on exactly what you want to have or what kind of mood you want to show. And for me, this mood board is just the inspirational pictures of what I'm going to build. And later on, I take everything in InDesign and that's where I write, because I find it easier to actually write things and put things in the right positions in InDesign. And as you can see up there, I wrote restaurant mood board, and I'm gonna choose specific words that I find important, things that I'm gonna try to keep myself grounded to. I took words like comfy. I'm not sure how much you can see in the video, but I took words like comfy, nature, outdoor, industrial, and ceiling lamps. I have been looking at a lot of ceiling lamps lately. I think that's also another thing that brought me to actually build this restaurant, to actually come up with the whole idea in the first place. And outdoor, because I actually want to have a view from the outside. As I said before, I really don't do a lot of outdoor pictures, but I wanted to challenge myself to try something like this. It is still interior, but at the same time it's still an outside. I hope that's actually easy to understand. Yeah. And as for nature, it's all the plants that are gonna be around the window, of which I'm gonna decide exactly what kind of shape I want to have. I then decided to choose a few colors that I was gonna try to keep myself to. I like the dark pink and beige kind of look, because I wanted something of a color, but at the same time I don't want it to be too much. So I chose those two colors. I hope I can still stick to that, because as I said from before, it is the beginning of the project and I'm still rolling with ideas. I'm still coming up with things. This is how the mood boards turned out, and those are the colors I chose to actually work with. I later on tried to draw different kind of windows, like the way I would want to have. Those things I'm trying to draw around are actually what's going to be the grass, or what's going to be the plants, and how I want it to exactly look like. There's so many ideas and so many different ways. So when I'm drawing, what I'm looking for is what kind of design looks good, but at the same time without making it look too much because of the plants like around the windows and everything. It still needs to look breathable, but at the same time aesthetic, I think you could say that. So I try out different designs. Even right now, even after I filmed this video, I'm still trying out different things. And as you can see right there, I did not like that design because it just became too much. So it's all about trying different things and see what works for you, what you feel like works for you. Today was a productive day. I later ate in bed. As you can see, it is an unhealthy day. I ate in bed and watched series. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next week, beautiful people.